game. It's windy. The wind is blowing very hard too, buddy. You might not even hear me too good, so I'm gonna have to try to get a little closer. Lean down on it. That breath is blowing real good from the Most High. You know what I'm saying? I got my fake me out on, so I should probably, put this up because people see me now standing up. So when they see a knocker, they're like, got my hair out too, so it look like Medusa's little snakes and shit. Anyhow, though, man. Yo, man, I'm about to jump into this. Got to jump into it. Oh man, we already got somebody looking over. I got a man over here staring at me like this, like he's staring at me hard. He got them glasses on too, boy. Staring at me hard. So cool. All right, y'all. So let me go ahead and chop it up real fast. Because it's a lot of things going on the internet. Oh snap! Wind blowing. We got spirits out here trying to blow the wind, trying to get into it, trying to mess up our little view. The wind is blowing pretty hard, so gotta be careful. Gotta watch out. Hey, what's up, Doug? Plus, I'm trying to get situated real fast. So I want to chop it up about this whole little what's going on in the world today, man. You got a lot of content creators, especially dealing with this workout situation. Their little time is kind of coming to an end. I'm standing up, people looking. Men, I attract men. It's kind of crazy. Their little content creation of dealing with working out is like, it's coming towards an end in a way. They kind of redundant with certain things. I kind of had to let everybody sit back for a second and do what they do. Because as I already mentioned, I already made eye contact with a man who's gonna come over here probably to see me. But as I'm saying to you when individuals trying to go outside their lane, what their specialty is, whether it's working out and being goofy and just being entertainment. That's cool for certain. That's cool, but to give some type of information as far as like health wise, it's kind of like a redundant thing. Most High punishes individuals like that in these times. I don't know if you can hear me, man, because this wind is hitting me. It's trying to push my little phone over there. Shit. So I gotta like put something in front of it to make sure it don't fall. So it did. That's when I said it, because I know I'm gonna expose some shit. It's like you gotta understand now, the type of people we're taking information from in this world, they're not really truly promoting health. They kind of want to, promote, muscle health, bodybuilding health when it comes to like your physical structure and not dealing with the mental. You also have a mental. A lot of people think that they swift and fast and smarter than another mother. And so hence when they see something's working for them or they're not getting punished right away, they think they can talk bad about another individual's lifestyle. What's happening? Peace. They think they can talk bad or down on somebody else's lifestyle. Versus like, a person's lifestyle who's like, vegetarian, vegan, someone who's trying to like eat light, dealing with the spirituality, When they talk down on people who actually eat in that type of sense, that right there just shows the more physical cluster B personality disorder type of, makeup that you have. When individuals who is not really focused on the mental health, the emotional health, what makes you confident, instead of putting on a mask, going out and trying to make people believe that you're this smart, this, that, and the third. Hope y'all can hear me because, the wind's blowing. And so you'll always see, especially in this sign, because the veil is lifted. Nobody's not going to be able to say any type of bullshit and kind of play on the life of someone who is actually trying to better themselves mentally, spiritually, and physically, the true bodybuilder. Not just taking roids and eating a certain type of protein and, and making it seem like, this is the way to go. When we always been watching to see what not to do when we watch a certain individual. You know what I mean? And that's cool. We learn like that too, because knowledge, is the foundation, and wisdom is the way to understand it. And being wise shows that . So anyhow, though, But a lot of individuals nowadays, the information that they're giving you, you know, as far as like eating and trying to put 5 meals or 3 meals a day, they have to sit back now and realize what they got to do. They're experiencing, when you get older, you experience different health disorders. If you haven't been a fruitarian or a fruitarian vegan since you was like since 20 years or more, or 15 or 10 plus years, I can say 5. You know what I'm saying? But 10 plus years, you really don't know how to speak on being a fruitarian or a vegan, and especially working out. And to talk about people that is that their bodies is frail because they work, you know, their fruitarian bodies is frail, or they're vegan, they don't look. Once they get, that's because they don't want to, they ain't worried about running around being a meathead and shit. You know, that's the furthest thing from their mind, from a fruitarian or vegan's mind set. They're not thinking about getting muscles and all of that shit. Maybe later down the line, they're like, okay, I may need to add this in now. Let me figure out how I can incorporate this and do the right things and find out the right timings to eat. You know what I'm saying? But when you're dealing with meatheads and shit, they tell you you gotta eat this, you gotta eat this type of protein, this meat protein from this source. You know what I'm saying? Or you're not gonna look a certain way, or you're not gonna feel a certain way, bro. We're dealing with future type of a way of thinking now. We're not more on the physical no more. It's about how you feel. We're eating to feel good, not to just look good. You know you're gonna look good and all that shit, you know what I'm saying? But you're eating to feel good. It reverses your aging damn near. You know what I'm saying? When you get up until about 40 years old, people, you gotta think about kidneys. You gotta think about, you know what I'm saying, your heart. It's a lot of individuals now that's having heart troubles. And I'm not gonna either. That was in my family gene, but I've studied it and learned what type of foods to eat as being a vegan, a fruitarian, since the 90s. You know what I'm saying? And I've always been athletic. To be able to tell you this is let you know, like, hey, you can actually do it. You don't have to be hella aggressive, you know, with meat protein to build muscle. You can have fruit, which is BCA based, which these are the branched chain amino acids to building. To building, you know what I'm saying, muscle. So if you're drinking orange juice after your workout, man, chances are you're gonna get swole. You know, if you're thinking to get, pardon, so people know how to use their body to make you believe anything that they say. Mentality of your codependent issues. If someone is codependent, then some people who are not codependent but need your codependency to make them feel great, yeah, pray on that, like I put it. So this is why it's important for you to be able to learn how to do it yourself in a lot of situations and a lot of things. Like, you know, when you're working out, like if I'm working out with you and I'm training someone, we're gonna figure out, we're not gonna keep you forever. We want to figure out how to get you right and exact. You know what I'm saying? So you can be able to find out your rhythm to your own self, how to find your tension in your own self, and what to eat with your own self. A lot of people haven't even, who's trying to shit on vegetarians and stuff, they haven't even ate a lot of vegetarian cuisines. You know, I mean, even going to Indian spots who are just, I'm talking about Indian like the Indians, you know, they got good vegetarian stuff, you know, but it's just, your body is smart as hell. It'll use the proteins every day. That's a lie. We're talking, you learn that from carnivores, man. You know what I'm saying? The appetite is very hard to tame, but once you do it, you have it under wraps. I was fortunate enough to attack my appetite at the age of like 16, 17 years old, and still being an athlete. You know? And like I say, you know what I'm saying? Your body is really smart. It's all about this. You get to see what you have inside you. You know, all the years of plaqueness backed up. We're gonna do detoxing too. When the detoxing comes, that's in February, March. You know what I'm saying? And so, but right now we're getting the sun and shit. You know, shining on us, getting these UV rays, not eating as much. That's when you learning your body, your true body. Like, okay, I can sit in the sun. They try to get you uncomfortable for being in the sun. You know, and oiling up, and allowing your body to absorb the rays, you know, flipping over, chilling and resting. That's the stuff you're supposed to be doing. This raises your vibration. That's true body building. That's aura building. That's mental building, you know? When people try to, you know, I know I'm talking to some spiritually advanced people and shit, because now you probably want to, you know, work out, and this is a good thing, you know, because most likely a lot of vegetarians and fruitarians, they've been, you know, they sit for a while. You know, you don't have to move around that much. Who have a broken disorder, they have to do a lot of things. You know, they constantly thinking they have to be doing something. Their mind got to be working. They got to be chewing some food. They got to be moving their body. They doing anything but sitting by themselves group. You know what I'm saying? And them niggas, you know what I'm saying? That's true bodybuilding, getting in tune with yourself. You know, after you work out, go sit, have you some fruit. I just got to eat some soursop, man, right off the tree. Couldn't want to hold back. I had to hear it, but you got to be careful because it got them seeds up in it too. Like, it was growing right on the tree out here. You know what I'm saying? I didn't plant that mud. It was already planted in the ground. Maybe somebody planted it, or the Most High planted, or somebody brought it to the island to plant, or whatever. That and noni fruit and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? All these different fruits, they work. It's just that your appetite is what messes you up, you know, and working out. And then, on top of it, celibacy for a man. What are you working out for? Are you working out for a girl? Are you working out to heal? Or are you working out just for your life? Doing something great with your life as being a man, a true man, you know? Not, you know, you can look and learn from another man. Pardon the wind, y'all, because I know it's blowing. You can look and learn from another person, but striving to mimic them is what lessens your capability, your potential, who you're supposed to be, your talents and the gifts that was given to you. You know, so I can make fun of carnivores all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I can make fun of them all day. Yeah, they try to stop that. Boy, they be trying to stop that stuff because they know I'm on it, man. The button pusher might be, he might be one of them motherfuckers that just got you jacking off like shit. But I'm just saying, say that. I can say that, you know, it might be hard, you know what I'm saying, to get the light to your crown, you know what I'm saying, because, you know, if you think in a certain way and shit, it's hard to get the light up. True body, this ain't no religious shit. This is some shit. This is the new man. This is not the old man. You thinking you're gonna get all this money and attract a broad? These broads is not gonna be like that no more. This is a new type of female. Once they see the man that's actually controlling his kundalini, he's not thirsty. He's building up his energy. He's coming from the heart now. Like how we always have coming from the heart, yo. That's when you become a man, G. Vulnerable. You can be vulnerable, but yet you can heal. That wind blowing, G. I gotta make sure that motherfucker don't blow. And I'm sitting on the side because I ain't got, you know, too much to check me out. I ain't working the chest out today. It's right off of the Sabbath. I did my Sabbath yesterday. Some people do Sabbaths on Saturdays only and shit. But I just happen to follow the moon. And, you know, the moon happened to be, you know, full. And I rest on those days. So, yeah, anyhow, though. Oh, man, oh, man. Hold on, y'all. This wind kicking. I'm about to figure out what's going on. It's choppy over here. See the water? The wind is blowing hard as I don't know what. But yeah, it feels great out here, man. It feels great. It's not too hot, but it's kind of cool. Anyhow, though, so they think that people think that they're not going to answer, you know, especially when you talk down on people who's trying to eat a certain way and work out. You know what I'm saying? Trying to find a way. If you got the way, you kind of look a certain way. People try to, you know, make fun of that. I'm gonna show you what we're dealing with. We're dealing with cluster B personality disorder. A lot of YouTubers right now, they're with content that's working out. They kind of listening. They knowing what's up. They're like, okay, well, you know, they chopping up like the spirit shit, and it's like, you know, celibacy and similar to some man shit right here, you know. And if you're making fun of that, you know, most likely, most highs gonna make fun of you in front of everybody, so we can all see. If you're doing funny ass little watermelon fasts and challenges and shit without trying to really help yourself and shit don't go down. We know what a histrionic is. All right, histrionic disorder is someone who needs to be seen all the time. They're narcissistic too, you know, but however, they need everybody's attention, no matter how they get it. And so, even though they go through that hell, you know what I'm saying? You have to understand, like listening to individuals, man, who don't know a lick about, who's learning, who don't know nothing about teas for one, herbs and shit, like real herbs. You know, like we're gonna show all that. I gotta let everybody play their hand because I know they think it's easy to just jump in and show themselves eating some fruit, and it's like, yeah, and behind the scenes you're probably chewing some sardines or something or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here just to say, like, yo, man, it's all about just cultivating and learning your appetite, learning how to eat at least once a day, one solid meal a day. Then you get to one solid meal every 48 hours with fruit and all in between. That's when you know you're living it. You're gonna try not to eat no more. You don't want to be full. Now people are gonna start talking about that because full is groggy. You know, you don't want to feel bloated. You know, when in the wintertime you learn that because you got to keep warm. I'm feeling great today, feeling fantabuloso. Even though I got energy to try to still show love. You know what I mean? But yeah, as far as like working out. See, I get a lot of questions. I'm gonna have to take it to another level and shit, just to show it on the business level. Just show much like we ain't playing. Even though you see me outside, I ain't got to give all the game up, but I'm gonna give enough. And how to be able to maintain your happiness. Because I get to eat out all the time, and must know. And if I'm like outside domiciles and walking around a certain way, people do hate. They always feel like they can compete against me, and I'd be like, it's about competing against your own self. It's not about competing against me. You know, I'm 40 something, about 50 something years. Don't compete against me. It's all about the nutrition. And that's how I tell everybody. And when they come up to me, it's like the nutrition. It's the nutrition. You know, and on top of it, what else they notice is that I'm not in a lustful way. I'm not in a lustful point. I'm like in a kid's mindset, like, when I work out or outside, I learn how to, better myself in certain situations, especially if I'm being outside. If I'm outside sleeping, I'm under the stars. Like last night, the moon was bright as a mug, and you can feel the moon's energy. It's really intense. You know what I'm saying? So, you'll learn to adapt to certain things. And that just shows, the experience. It's not that hey, I couldn't be a millionaire right now to show y'all how to eat a certain way. We're gonna just continue on, and we can just grow together. Shit, that's where we're at. We can just grow together. I'm celebrating already. We're 6 years in celibacy, but I give you a dream or whatnot. He'll leak something out you. Not like a bad dream. Like it's not even a bad dream. The bad dreams come in. That's when the evil ones come in and try to leak you out. But I'm celebrating my whole little year of mother trying to leak me out. And I caught it, but that was in last February. So that's already 12 months up again. So that shows you it can be done without no lust and how you can control your thoughts and shit. You can still do it even on the low level, but I'm just saying it'll be even more because you'll be like more on it. Like people notice this stuff, they notice this stuff. Look at them, you know what I mean? Like, the sun is changing out a little bit in the water and shit, so that stuff get on you. But yeah. What's the cuz? What's happening? Come here. You get your ass come over and shit. Hey, animals are smart, man. They listen. They hear everything you're saying. All right. So yeah, it was kind of we call it weird. So yeah, honesty. People are being honest now as far as like dealing with their life. People having like it's important to understand bodybuilding. It's more than just all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's more than that. It's healing. It's you're dealing with your own personal issues. It's cultivating your happiness. There's a lot of things that's going on with bodybuilding. Oh, I know that wind is hitting. I know the wind is hitting, bro. But there's a lot of things going on, man, when you're dealing with bodybuilding. And you can't just get into the game and think you just play. You think you're going to just be like, I'm natural and I did this, and we believe you. And you find out your ass and doing roids and all of this shit. You're trying to clean that up. Once I see all this shit, sees everything, man. You know what I'm saying? And so, this is why a lot of shit is happening in the world now. The new health guys are about FRUITARIan, vegan, celibacy, semen retention. I'm gonna sit down, y'all. Watch out, y'all. Semen retention. You know what I'm saying? Celibacy, like I said that already, but that's really the shit. Healing. know, being mature, being content with yourself, being content with yourself, being able to they ain't gonna have on too, because I know I'm gonna have more around here. Being content with yourself. See, I know most coming. I told you I just attracted a white boy. I always attract white boys and shit, man. Like they shit. So they seen me. First person he looked at was this beach. You know it's funny when they just staring at you. Like if you was coming to a spot, I wouldn't even worry about seeing another mother. I just go sit down. I'm gonna sit down there. But anyhow, though, you start seeing shit like that too, man. You know, it's the spirit. You'll raise your light body in you. You won't even want to deal with no punk ass shit no more. Not even no chick that's messed up. Top, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't want to deal. You would know bullshit, you know, from anywhere. And that's when you're dealing with celibacy, because that's when it comes up. I don't care if you go to the doctor and these must tell you anything. You like, man, you can let a doctor tell you anything, man. People so damn off. They so off. Peace. And you're the best for tuning in and chopping it up with a problem. Appreciate you. And you know, Swift over there trying to say, so let me take a sip of this real fast. You know, people trying to guide people in the wrong direction, man, and kind of use their little bodies and shit to kind of, I would say what you call it, to kind of, you know, persuade people to do something, to influence people. Some people are just talented too. I ain't gonna even front. Some people are very, thank you, you have a great day too. Have an awesome day. Shit. You know, some people are actually cold. You know, there's a lot of influences that are cold. You know what I mean? I ain't worried. You know, those health fanatics or those personal trainers or whoever just doing the work and just working out, you know what I'm saying? They cold. And I know they eat in a certain way, and I know they natural and shit. And they just naturally got that vibe and that glow. When you see people who are just trying to just like, you know, do what the old cycle was, which is lie about shit to get money, you know. I mean, people were misled the longest about working out. We didn't even know how to work out right. I mean, I know how to work. I mean, shit, I was in sports a lot, but a lot of people didn't know until recently. No doubt. Cheers. Excuse me. Cheers. What's that? Hey, blue collar. Cheers. What's happening? Hey, so you know, a lot of people, like I say, back we wouldn't know what to do. You know, these people had secrets. They lied to us in little books saying do 3 sets of this and this. And these older people in the gyms nowadays, they kind of hold you to that. Like, oh, I see you do 3 sets, you should be done at the machine type stuff. And it's like, no, who told you that? Oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He says you got to eat 5 protein meals and, you know, eggs and guts and everything like that to get swole like him. And it's like, nah, you don't really have to. And being swole, the illusion comes when you start to cut up. You know what I'm saying? When you start to do your cut thing. You can be round and puffy and shit. That's because you're eating a lot of different carbs and stuff. But once you start losing that down and try to see your definition, it's kind of like a shirt. Your body is like a shirt almost. You can you start losing the weight. That's when you start seeing the strides and what you put in. You know, you can use that body type for about a few months or so. You know what I'm saying? But then your body's gonna need those extra carbs because of, you know, shit, the weather's gonna change, and you know, shit keeps changing. So you can't just eat a certain way all the time, man, and force your kidneys to produce all this adrenaline just by taking all these goddamn you know, pre-workouts and shit or steroids or whatever. You know what I mean? Because kidney health, once that go down, it's a wrap. I let you know that right now. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. So in order to gain mastery of all of this is really gaining mastery of your kundalini. Gaining mastery of your food first, then that kundalini. You know what I'm saying? Because the food is like, because we already started on the kundalini already, but the food we can kind of reset a little bit. You can kind of know what you want to eat and what you don't want to eat, not what you crave, because what you crave is different. When you have cravings, that goes to your adrenal glands. I don't know no bodybuilder nothing like that talking about your adrenal glands and shit. They don't even want to talk on that subject. You know, they want to tell you what they eat and what they did and what it is. And I understand people want to see that as entertainment. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's cool. We get caught up in stuff. But true bodybuilding, it's like, you know, you want to kill the parasites in your brain that's telling you all this dumbass shit that you believe in. All the lies that you have to tell yourself that you believe. You got to kill those parasites. Them the ones that's lying to you. When you got these parasites from all these undigested animal proteins over the years in your brain and lodged in there with all kind of residue of fucking larvae and shit, and then up in your vertebrae and lodged in your muscles, you wonder why, you get clots and shit like that, or heart failures and heart attacks and shit like that, along with, emotional distress, past traumas, things that's unhealed. See, real bodybuilding, G, we can't just get up under the thing and push some weight, lift something up and put it down, man. It's all about truly sticking to something, sticking to your the way of the way of eating. And fruitarian vegan is the best way, really, in real life. So, but you can add in fish if you're gonna do fish. That's your animalistic sense. That's probably the lowest you can go. But at the same time, people still eating deers and shit. You know what I mean? But we're growing out of that. Our body's growing out of that. Your cells won't even want to eat that no more. It's not gonna even want to. It's not gonna want a lot of things. Your spirit is not even gonna want a lot of things no more in this season. You don't even want to defile your happiness. The older you get as a man, you really protecting that happiness as a man. When you see an older man chilling and he's like working on something in his house, on the side of his house, in the yard, and nobody bothered, he done figured out how to preserve his happiness, whatever the fuck he's doing, and that's the key. That's the main key. You know what I'm saying? When you follow somebody else shit, that's when you fall off. You can take inspiration or information from them and get inspired in certain ways, but you got to know how to draw the line psychologically, because it's all psychopathy. Just know where to draw the line at, but still have your own identity. Because people get caught up and want to be somebody else, fuck around, and it's almost like, it's cool with certain jobs, I guess, if you let these people cut on you in the surgeon's chair, or if you let them do that, you let them draw blood from you and do nose jobs and stuff like that, and eye jobs and stuff, or you can sit out in the sun like this, close your eyes and let the sun, lighten up your shit. It ain't gonna turn drastically, but it'll do something. If you got that type of problem, you got some type of it's a cluster B personality histrionic disorder problem that when it's in the wrong person's hands, who has a lot of influence, can be detrimental to the community. So most I gotta send a motherfucker in real fast and be like, nah, man, you can't do shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Correct this shit. Because a mug will follow you just on how your body look. You gotta understand. If a motherfucker looks swollen, cut up, or a chick is ripped as thick as hell, a mug will listen to that before they'll listen to a frail, smart looking person. Or not smart, but frail, thin looking person. But a smart individual will conceive that frail, thin-looking person as a very intelligent, smart person. I should take some type of information from. This person probably learned how not to eat for 5 days straight on a regular basis. I got to learn how to incorporate that. What did you do to do that? So I can find out how to do it myself. And stuff like that. You incorporate, and then you realize, okay, now, I'm just saying, but now you're able to be like, okay, man, damn, I don't have to eat as often anyways. That's a whole fucking lie. And I can still maintain my body weight without my body eating the muscle. But the people's all concerned about their muscle. I lose muscle. No, you're going to lose fat first. You ain't going to lose muscle. Fat forms, and then fat is the fuel. Once we know the correct shits, then you be like, okay, this is what I got to do. My body's low on this. You'll know when you're fasting, or when you're like cutting up. You'll know what type of food you really need at those times. It won't be no craving. You'll just know, like, oh, I'm lacking to like a fruit right now. Especially if you're going 2 or 3 hours, without eating a fruit after a real hard workout. You'll realize eating a piece of fruit after a workout is cool. Drinking a fruit juice, 7-pound fruit juice, is ideal. That's how you're supposed to drink. That's how you're supposed to drink your juice. If you're gonna drink juice, eat your fruit with the fiber too. Some people was hating on fruitarian vegan, like your content creators, man, and then had a problem talking about fruitarians that fucked up their liver and shit. You know what I'm saying? And they going by what the doctor tell these motherfuckers. Like, if you're this type of blood type, you're supposed to be eating these type of meats and this type of no. It's this type of protein and that type of protein. That ain't like about a certain type of animal and shit. That's dealing with just a complex, a complex molecule. And that shit is like that's a radical thing that can actually be born into your own body and shit. Which is like, you produce proteins on a regular. So If you're getting protein from outside sources, it's just like getting the kidney from an outside source. Your body's going to try to destroy the kidney once it's into you because it's foreign. You know, so you're supposed to be eating things that's naturally designed for your ass, like fruits, berries, melons, shoots, and grains and quinoas and certain things that you was able to make hybrids of that was able to continuously produce more so over and over and shit. You get your grains in for long energy. You want to eat for energy, get your grains. And now I'm at the short because every 48 hours I can eat some grains. I don't even have to eat rice, but I just mess with the bread now instead of the rice because it gets a little too clogged up if it ain't quinoa. So I don't really mess with rice too much unless I gotta survive or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't even do that. Bread is where it's at when it comes to that. And I had to add that back into the game, but it gotta be real good bread. Other than that, you really don't even need that. Anything that has a complex sugar and a complex carbohydrate, which is sugar, you know what I'm saying? That's going to give you the energy or the fuel that you need for the day, along with, charging up. That's dealing with your auras and shit, electricity and shit, grounding. My feet's on the ground. All these little things play a role instead of just sitting inside all day and just sitting. When you do that, nothing moves when it's sitting. That's when it's dead. Ain't no circulation. Your body has circulation, whether if it's slow movement or fast or rapid movement. Something got to be moving. Ain't nothing stagnant unless it's dead. You know what I mean? So you just got to figure out your body. And once you figure out your body, I can just walk with you on those ways. That's why I'm gonna have to up the ante a little bit. I was like, he's outside. You don't need and you don't need that, man. But you got to understand, this is like one of the ways to cultivate happiness and shit. This is a whole nother. I know where to be at outside. Let's put it that way. I've been outside in the cold too, man. I know what it is on below zero, 58 below wind chill factor and shit. Still having to be on the bus stop going to work. But now it's like cultivating, doing the most high work, like in this way. And for those who actually appreciate it, that's where the donations come in at, or if I just like really geared in that to show like privatize this because it's going to be. It's more. I get a lot of DMs and shit, so I know people are really inquiring and shit because this is new. Even people who are like your top workout people, man. They want to know little things because when you add this in, it's like, damn, they didn't know. They don't know what it really is and how it really works. And most I gave me like a 7-year head start on it almost. You know what I'm saying? Even though I've been fruitarian vegan since I was younger and I ate the fish and stuff like that, and I knew what type of fish to eat if you're going to eat fish, sardines, salmon, things with scales, and you fry them up, you do that. I understand. I'm still with the southern stuff, but in a clean way. So we're gonna have the southern vegan child soul food coming too, man. You know what I'm saying? We got the raw side, raw salads, incredible hug salads. We got the, you know what I'm saying, the textured protein meals. And people who still want that textured protein. I grew out of it, but I still consume it if I'm going somewhere with people. Most high. I mean, the butterfly. Mother like, what? Where? That's what one dude did. But anyways, though, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So incorporating, just little things in the show and making things from scratch. I'm about to have to get to that situation. I know I've been talking about it, but I had to finish out the school just to show, like, hell, man, shit's real. See the little whites under the roof. So that means we've been in the game for a while. I got children. I grew children up on these diets. Right? You know what I mean? And they grown. So it's like you can't be strict. I have to learn. You have to learn freedom. You have to give people their freedom. Because if you're too strict, it's like being a pastor on the person, and they'll run away on the child. They'll run away and do the opposite of what you say. So I gave everyone their choice, and I knew they'd go as far as like eating fish and stuff like that, or they'll try something and then see what their body will like, and come back to the truth, which is like fruits and shit. Your body naturally craves fruits and apples and oranges and shit like that. It was on our land anyway. Shit. That's why we crave it. We have roots and all these different things. We learned a lot of different things, so it's coming back. We're bringing all that good southern comfort back in the game. And I ain't talking about liquor. Man, we make liquor too, though. We're gonna show you how to make some liquor, some wine, all that, man. Shit, it's the season. So basically, just to get up, to get yourself up to that prime. What they say, alpha, is all that, but that prime status, feeling of being able to be, dependent on yourself, interdependent. These are the keys that take you to do it. Fruit of the heart is tropical. It's getting astronomical. That's right, boy. It's it. And this is what's gonna bring. This is gonna change the game, And I ain't even looking down on none of my those who eat the meat, the foodie people, because we all, we all people, man, and we're just at different vibrations. I appreciate their shit, even at their level, and they're honest at theirs, and then but I know and understand they want to see what it takes to eat fruit, veggies, and stuff like that too, because I know they want to try that. Like, I want to try the veggie version of this, and how to. Oh, kale really does this? You mean I can saute a piece of kale every time I eat me something? I ain't got over. Yep, that's right. Kale's off the chain, baby. You know what I mean? It's because we like the new OGs. We're actually the OGs that start the real OG process, like of being able to still interact with our youth, our children's and children's children at the same level again, like how it used to be so-called ancient times or whatnot. Still being able to dance with your grandchildren. You want to do all that stuff. We're not just here to make our body look good to get oohs and ahs from strangers and shit, or people who may want to idolize you like a god or something like that. And that's where you get the false god shits at anyways. You don't want to be idolized like a god anyway. That's who you is, but you want to give the all grace and praise to the Most High. Like, yo, man, he gave me the inspiration. I needed to do this, and he did it. So the Most High right there. It just came out of nowhere and shit. You know what I'm saying? Saying that you just gave the inspiration. You got inspiration to make yourself better. Like, yo, I'm getting older. I want to do this. I want to find the most minimum way to keep myself at the highest optimum health as I can, without overdoing it. Because people are extremists in this world. But they got cluster B personality and shit. Love is bad. Hold on. Yeah, but the real ones is listening to them. Yeah, that's a daggone crab crawling on my back. Little side stepper. They all be fucking with me, man. They just be all over here. They be chilling and shit like that. I guess they know I'm loving. Anybody else come up, they'll run away. But the crabs, they come right up on me in my hand, man, chilling. Everybody else, they eat them and shit. They catch the crab and they eat their ass. They know I don't eat them. I be talking to them, chilling and shit. They be knowing. Animals know they're just at different vibrations and shit, at different schools and stuff like that. So they know they pray. You know what I'm saying? They know when they're praying. They know when they're cool, who they can chill with and chop it up with. It's the same thing, man. I see a man around there and I like that shit. Also, fruit enhances the smell too. You know what I mean? The fruit, the real fruit, you eat it, even if you ate fish. I ate fish. I did the whole little thing. The sardines, I only ate what he needed to eat to know not to eat it no more. Type shit again. When I delved back in there, I'm like, you gonna eat fish? Better know how to catch it and be able to gut a fish and clean it. You don't need to go to no restaurant and eat things that you can't even prepare in your own and shit. You don't have the stomach to be able to do it on your own. If you can't get a cow and milk that and gut it and clean that mug, man, and skin it and shit, you don't need to be eating it. And there's people who can do that shit natural. But I'm just saying, like my granddad ain't all that. They was able to do that in Mississippi. They did all that stuff, man. We had our own gardens and shit. They had all the meat, chop it up and everything, give it to the family. Yo, what's happening? 1400 showed it. What's happening? We chilling. We sitting back, getting some sun, talking up about, just becoming the best versions of being a man of our own, ourselves. That's when the word comes in too. Because you be more honest with yourself. Eating the right foods. It's not making you other than your own self. Not making you a liar. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be shown in this age. You'll know when somebody's lying on that health shit. And it's like, we're preventing stuff, man. You don't want kidney problems. You don't want kidney stones. You don't want gallbladder stones. You know what I'm saying? You don't want liver problems. You want to start correcting, the eating the right way. And you're going to hear a lot of shit, too, from vegans saying that certain foods ain't all that, honey. And then I hear all stuff. You're going to know what you want to adapt. I ain't worried about, you're going to know what you want to eat and what you don't want to eat. Just knowing how to eat it at the right times and get it up out you is really the most important part. Your body's smart and it's really strong. It's really strong. So you can eat certain things, but once you grow out of this stuff, you're gonna be straight. You will grow out of certain things eventually. Indians got the fish scales. You use them for crops to grow. You already know. And the fish, that's our shit. You know what I'm saying? You definitely know the fish with the scales, that's the ones we're supposed to eat. But when we get to eating all this stuff, I be seeing everybody picking all kind of shit. The little squishy things that don't even move, man. You just pick that up and start eating that, you're about to die almost, man. People get gout and shit in their foot. And I'm like, you eating too much fucking seafood, man. You just see food and you eat that motherfucker. And it's like, with body, like I say, with people with bodybuilding, it's not their time no more. It was fun to watch them before, but right now these people These people are not like the type of people to learn from when it's dealing with health. None of the older people, none of the old anybody talking anything right now and shit. This is everything new right now. It's like we're all about renewal and we're all about, detoxifying, semen, pretending celibacy. We gaining our fucking sexual nature back under control. So now we can pull our women in a nice sense without having to, lust over. We can actually have that initial ideal of her, like, damn, they ain't bad. And, just to be up on her, and then, once that fades a little bit, that's just y'all not for that. You can just be cool. You know the difference, man. You know what I'm saying? Then you know the difference if you go down low. If you let your shit go low to be like, man, this bitch, I kind of want to bang her or whatever. Not bang her, but you won't want to bang a person. You just like them. You wouldn't want to go that far because you really value yourself. I'm telling you, man. I know, because I used to bang a lot of bitches. I gotta say, I used to bang them. Not a lot of them like I was a hoe or some shit like that. But I can bang them. It says, you're right, though. The kidney issues had to stop. It said, yeah, man. All right. That's right. Peace. I appreciate you. I appreciate you tapping in. Because the kidneys is the hardest thing to get back online. It really is, because, and I had to say it like that, it really is, because a lot of black people got kidney issues because we're really, for one, we're really hyper. That's the adrenal glands. We naturally we can naturally turn that on at any time. So when we're taking like unhealthy sugars and shit, unhealthy, I'm gonna say sugars that's not the right sugars for us, and that's anything that's like, false sugar, man. I ain't gonna say man-made sugars, but yeah, you can say that too. A lot of those, that damages the adrenal glands, and hence that shuts down the kidneys to get them to not filter it. Meaning that all the shit you've been eating or drinking, anything that all those little minerals that are those metals and stuff that's toxic, they won't be filtering in your kidneys no more to get it out through your urinating system or your skin. And this is how you keep your skin all clear. When you see a mother with clear skin, that means them kidneys is moving. They sweating. So I heard a mother on the content saying, man, mother sweat. He must have watched one of my videos. I know the motherfucker be white. I be seeing little shit. You know what I'm saying? These mothers got millions of contents. Got millions of motherfuckers. And I know they know what the truth is now, though. You know what I mean? Because Most High ain't playing. They're going to put you through some shit if you think you're going to play with this type of lifestyle. Shit. You know what I'm saying? This is not for the weak at all. You got to be very stern, because these motherfuckers say they do it either a veggie way or a vegan way for like a month or whatever. Man, some of them say a year, but I don't even think they do a year, man. But that's at the beginning. You're like still cleaning yourself out. You're still at the newborn stages and shit. I got to say that for any of the newborns. That's like newborn stage. You want to try new foods out, cook foods and oils and stuff like that. That tastes good. But you're going to eventually get to a point where you ain't gonna want all them oils. You ain't gonna want all that shit. You gonna want the shit that get right to the point, G. That's what you gonna want. You don't want. You'll do the oil stuff, especially if you're working out or something, once every week if you want to make a schedule of it. Because you'll fuck around and do that shit for a whole 2 weeks and be like, no, I didn't want that shit no more. Or some people never can get out of the oils and all of the. I like oils too, but I'm just saying you can know how to use them every now and again. Then you'll know your body. If your body holds weight in certain areas, you'll just know. Because like I say, when you get older, the body still. You see older people with nice looking bodies, but their face look like a catcher's mitt and shit. You know what I mean? Like, damn, man, that's a 70-something-year-old black lady on the line. Man, her ass is so goddamn fat. She turned around. I'm like, oh shit, damn, girl, you look like I don't want to say nothing, but. But would that matter? No, that wouldn't matter. We'd be like, man, just put this mask on. I might get turned on because you got a mask. And I know that you're 75 years old with this fat ass. Then the mind comes in. I know I'm talking shit. But yeah, you can keep your face right with collagen, natural collagens from fruit. You know what I mean? From natural fruit. Really, berries. That keeps your skin tight. Grapes, real grapes, keep your skin tight, G. You know what I'm saying? And sweating. Jumping rope and sweating, because a lot of people who lose weight, their skin get real loose and saggy and shit, and they wasn't doing it the slow way that you do, and not to have that old draggy neck shit. That's what happens when you get older. You get draggy necks and stuff. You want to make sure you eat these grapes damn near regularly. If you can afford grapes, you should be eating them motherfuckers every day. I'm sorry, that's really if you can afford them, they'll throw away grapes and they give you some grapes. It says y'all been trying to erase it. He said trying to eat stuff comfortable with, but like the healthy way. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I said trying to air fry. I ain't never did air fry. Use the whole ingredients done with a lot of I said I'm done with a lot of McDonald's shit. I'm glad about that shit. I had to get my children up out of McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Before they was like they weren't even in. They was getting the fries, but this is when their mama was getting them to them. They was only like two. They 20 or 20. You know the 20s now. Shit, I'm just saying. Then though, I'm like yeah, y'all see me eating it. They go yeah, Dad, that's right. And I'll cook shit for them. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I had to deal with ways of being able to adapt to when dealing with a cluster B situation when the mama try to hurt you through the children and shit. And sometimes the mom hurt you to the children to make sure you don't be in their life. And that's kind of ass backwards, but you stick through it and you made it all the way. So, ta-da! So we're back in the game still. So yeah, but yeah, that fruit though, man, that's with the semen retention, the celibacy, you know what I mean? And that right there alone, just pulling away from the porn. Because we do got it pushes dopamine in us and shit, G. You know what I mean? It do. Watching your own porn would be cool, I guess. You want to have your own dopamine. I'm getting turned on my own self. Look how I hit this one broad. I stopped doing that shit. I don't want to be addicted to the broad and shit. Because she may have different energies. It may be busted too. Like, you don't want to be doing all that shit. You know what I'm saying? If it's with your woman, then it's like, yeah, put it in her phone, let her do it. She's all sexual. You know what I mean? Just kind of pull away. It's about man being disciplined, really. I know it's like, yeah, it's taking the fun away. It's not really fun after a while. It's like you become a slave to this shit. The older you would get, the weaker you become sexually. You have to keep your body up because you ain't gonna pull no broad. The older you get, if you're just like aging a certain way, you're not gonna pull a motherfucker that you may pull somebody older than you. Because she can't pull nobody type shit, but she can pull a young motherfucker who just wants some pussy, a young motherfucker to her. If she's 65, nigga 60, a young motherfucker to her is 40. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. But if you 60, nigga, you right, yeah, if you want to, you can bang a 20 if you want to. I'm just saying you ain't gotta be all. I never been with the young people like that, but I'm just saying a 20-something-year-old with a nice, sharp mind. You know what I mean? Those are the ones. Like you have an older chick. When they get older, they're attracted because they're older now in their mindset, but they still got a young, youthful body and shit. That's cool. They had to grow in their mindset. When you got a younger woman that's mature in their mindset and they got a body, it's like, yo, she's a keeper. You keep them forever and shit because they ain't worried about shit. But yeah, have your age plus 5. You can attract a woman at that point. You're doing something good as a man. So yeah, man. Discipline, working out. When she sees this, that she also a woman don't want a man that's gay too, unless you ain't into that wild sex. She's not gonna want all that though, unless you want to experience yourself to play around with these type of women. Most I allowed this shit to happen. It's allowed. It's allowed. You know that when I see it. But if you want to truly discipline yourself, the new woman is gonna be attracted to that kundalini going the opposite direction. The man who is a interdependent person. He ain't even got to have a lot of money. I'm telling you, these new women is attracted to that. They're gonna do whatever it takes to be attracted. If he's better than himself in any form of fashion, I don't care. That shows an evolution. It's not the same. He's not the same he was 6 months ago when I seen him or some shit. Or if he is, he's a better version of that motherfucker 6 months ago. You know what I'm saying? Well, he never fell off. That right there is what attracts. That's going to be the new attraction. It's not going to be all about the money because the money's going to come, or everything's going to come later on. Whatever you want, your business and shit, all that shit that you wanted, it will come. It depends how much you want it. A lot of people want that stuff more. Like myself, is a little bit more different. But that comes along with the game because they had to shed shit and do shit, and I had shit and all that stuff. But this time, it's a little different. You know what I mean? But yeah, just to show, like, yo, man, you can be content. Just honor and respect things like nature and shit. I talk about this too, man, because nature, it's like, yo, you're already in paradise, right? Look at it. People be mad at fucking paradise. Once you learn, the reason why they mad at paradise is because of the things that they haven't mastered in their own self, which is their eating habits, their their vices, you know what I'm saying? Sex and dopamine addiction, you know, you won't be able to enjoy something that's like that. Sounds like this, looks like this. This is very high vibratorial, you know. You won't be able to just sit and just be like, damn, this shit's beautiful. You won't be able to do it because you haven't cultivated that happiness. A person who come here, if they lived here, if they chose to live here, I guarantee you they'll move because it's not they wouldn't be able to take it. No doubt. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. No doubt, no doubt. Yeah, man. So, you know, it's just coming around. And I know there's other people in the game too. When it really catches on, you know, we're gonna have to up the antes and shit. We're gonna show that we know what we know a little bit more and add it into the game, you know. And that's gonna be for the as far as for the business, you know what I'm saying? Because I never really like to sell shit because I know most I put me here as an example, but at the same time, I do understand the marketing and the demographics, you know what I'm saying? But it's me being the best that I can be as far as an example to show that when I do choose to have something, when I put it together with my own hands, my own BCAAs, my own proteins, you know, you'll know that, okay, this came from pea protein, it's going to be affordable, and mothers will know, you know, or, you know, I'm not selling a lot of different things, and I won't be working for other companies. But it's like, you know, only a few things. I just named protein off the bat because people may be like, oh, I'm gonna get my protein too, but it's not that. I ain't gonna really get all that. It's more things already. We already got the mission statement up. But you know, but when we do these, you know, the vids that are for the real semen retaining spiritualist, yogi, rabbi, chief motherfucker type ninjas. You know what I'm saying? Anyone in the world really, because this is the game that's going to keep us right on top. That right there is going to make sure you don't leave. I had to go through it all these times, and then we're 1 year again from the last 1 year. Like the last 1 year, I don't have sexual dreams. You know what I'm saying? Even if they did attack me, I got them already before they do it. I even be tricking their ass. They be trying to get. Most I allow them up, but when them up, when most I get something out of me now, she don't even need much. You already know that it's whatever that was needed to make it get out. That was like a year ago. And I already had 7 years, going on 7 years now, with the light already running around. And I've been through those little times of 10 months, 5 months, 3 months, back up to 10 months. Every time I always got better though. I only never went back after if I did 3 months and I got to 4 and go back to 3. If I couldn't make it to 4 again, I try to best. I start over again and making sure I can get past 4. And I call that my 1. You know what I'm saying? To make sure. And I know it's all spiritual because you get the downloads and you know your light shows and people see it. You know, and all my light brothers that be seeing it, we be shining like a motherfucker together. We still talk shit, all eating shit, eating good, nigga working out, having a motherfucking meal. I mean, this shit, women gonna love that shit about your ass. It's the new nigga, man. This is how I make some courses. I got some, big dog. Okay, no doubt. Make some paper with you. I appreciate you. No doubt. I appreciate the push because it's coming down. I gotta be able to stay put. I'm on my other channel. I've been talking some more extra shit sometimes, and that kind of like puts the eye on me more. You know what I mean? In that sense, and I think I'm gonna have to just focus on this and hit it from this angle because I attract more universal people and shit. You know, but and it's not like I'm hating somebody. You know, it's definitely out of love, and I don't get gaslit on this one too tough. You know. So, because it's like, you know, why would we guys? Like, why would we try to hurt? Why would we try to project something or something that can actually kind of better us a little bit more and make us all fresh? You know what I'm saying? And smooth, because we can get back doing the club thing. I'm thinking about that. I'm like, damn, man, we don't be dancing no more with the girls. That's why we got to get back to that again because it's like doing this. I think, I ain't gonna say I think. This little year really is what it's gonna take. This little year while everybody's bickering and doing their shit, man, as a true man, working out, getting this together, reading. Oh man, you know what I'm saying? Spoiling yourself, loving yourself, going, taking yourself out somewhere to eat by yourself. I used to do that shit all the time. Man. I go out to eat by myself, man. You know, and you appreciate that. Once you get enough of yourself, some people can't have enough of themselves, but you gotta really push it. Once you get enough of yourself, then you can share some of that energy that you done built up. You know, but you gotta make sure you keep you right. And that's not selfish in a bad way, man. It's a good thing, and especially as a man because you want to take care of other people. If you're gonna do other people or somebody else, you gotta be right. People depend on your knowledge. Your knowledge is the foundation as the man, and your knowledge is the foundation. So anyone you come like a woman or a girl, they gonna stick with you because of what you know. And then if you show what you know by living it, and she'll get that understanding. Like, damn, this is your way of life. She'll start doing the same shit you do, like automatically. You ain't gotta tell her to do nothing stupid. If you start doing something stupid, one little check, and if she don't correct, hey, she gotta get left, man. If she don't go right, she get left. She don't get right, she get left. That's it. You know what I mean? You ain't got no time to play because now you got your energy up. Now you ain't low past your heart chakra no more. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. Yeah, so you gotta get your heart, up, you know what I'm saying? Pardon me. You gotta get your heart up. Once you get past, I never let no more any chicks I was playing with before my celibacy group. I didn't let past the fourth chakra. If I did release, I did it. I'll do it for them just to show them something. You know what I mean? After we had already made them have multiple orgasms or whatever and shit. To do that type of stuff. But you don't go past your heart chakra because once you get lower than that, even if you got to the third one, it take you about a month to get back up. But the heart chakra, you ain't gonna worry, you gonna move on. Your heart ain't even damaged, man. You ain't even invest much. I got girls that like that, man. I'm saying that I ain't even release on none of them. And I'm wondering why I ain't tripping on them. Why I ain't trip or whatever, or not even trip, but just be like, man, shit, it would have been banging to keep her, but oh well. You know what I'm saying? Like that's because you didn't invest all that light. It takes so much to release, man. It's true bodybuilding. You know what I mean? You low on that light, you be a shell of yourself. That's why working out, man, is also to get you up to par. As far as like looking good, feeling good, thinking good, talking good, walking good, man, shining like a motherfucker, all that. Everything you go on track hate too, but yeah, that comes with the product. That comes with the whole shit. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, though, who cares what they do? They gonna hate it. People will hate anyways, especially if you eating the right way, a certain way. When you're dealing amongst people that eats a certain way. That's why I'm gonna get wrap it up. But that's what I want to say. You know what I mean? With you see these YouTubers, the YouTube workouter people. I guess the workouter people. There's good ones. There's good ones who actually eat a certain way. But then they try to get into a lane that's not theirs, and they try to see if they can steal that lane. And that lane ain't theirs, shit. It's like, and you quickly, most I'd slap the shit out your ass in that lane, like, all right, nigga, get the fuck out the lane. You know what the fuck you doing or what you talking about, or nothing. You stay your ass over there, and you do burpees and jumps and swinging on poles and shit. You know what I'm saying? And you do these, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. But when it's coming to this serious shit, we ain't got time to play. I can sit here and put big booty chicks in my videos all the goddamn time. Big booty, big, exotic looking ass, long hair ass, Hawaiian ones that be all around me all the goddamn time. Samoans, all the time, but they don't eat like me. So it's damn near like I'm lying. I'll just put them in the video for a prop. They finna go eat some masubu. I don't even eat. They think off of that. Now, if I seen a motherfucker that was thick off of what I'm eating with them, now I'm gonna put them in the video. And I had one that was like that. I put her in the video and shit to show because she spent some time with me. She spent like a year and a half with my ass. And she got stronger than all the men out this motherfucker and got thin as hell, legs thick as a motherfucker and shit. She stuck right next to me. And we used to do swimming, do shredding, doing a whole full body workout, just treading in the water and shit. You work your whole body in the water when you tread, you know what I mean? And so we used to do that stuff and they got it right. So yeah, I had her in the videos and shit. But just having any bitch in the video, I ain't gonna even do that because I don't even need you in the video. You just got to eat some bacon, bitch. I don't need to do that. But bacon booty in my video and shit, like they make it seem like this is a fruitarian booty. Like you would put your face, a fruitarian booty that I done fed. Yeah, my face go all in that bitch ass and shit. But you just got to eat some chicken and barbecue and everything. I can't eat your ass, bitch. I know it sounds fucked up. Like even if you horny, you would turn it up. Still, you'd be sick. You don't want to fuck with that shit. But if your bitch eating pineapples and strawberries and grapes and shit, nigga, man, ain't nothing wrong with it at this point. You know what I mean? You can lick this bitch all over. Her fucking bacteria is gonna be good for your ass to eat, to lick. But you eat these toxic ass bitches and shit, man, and licking on their skin, horrible. You know what I'm saying? They done got them drinking Hennessy and shit, or whatever in the fuck they done drink. Man, thick as hell. But they just got to eat two big ass softballs from less barbecue and shit. Big ass oxtail pots and shit. I don't want to be in the room with that bitch if she do that shit. Like, oh hell, they just turned me off, man. I don't even know. We can't even eat together now. I mean, damn, you saw it over here devouring a fucking animal corpse in front of me and shit. I can talk about carnivores too. Like, no, I ain't gonna have you in front of me, man. I don't give a fuck. We look, today, man, because we gonna be looking the same way, or even better, and feeling better, without even having to eat none of that shit. And at the most, the motherfuckers can eat some sardines or something, B. That's it. You don't even need that many sardines. You can't, because that ain't got all the guts. You have to clean that shit out. You can eat sardines as whole. It's in me. That's right. You know it, G. You know it. You look the right way. You be like, damn. You mean to tell me? So that sets you apart from everybody even more. You just being most likely setting you apart even more. Like, nope. We're doing it. That makes the chicks be like, you know what? I'm gonna go over there. You know, now we got our balancing brothers, our yoga brothers and shit. They get more into the vegans. You know what I'm saying? They get more into the fruit now. A lot of them vegans and shit, but there was more tofu vegans. I'm really not with the tofu too tough. I will eat it. I don't have to eat it every now and again. I didn't even eat it that much when I was eating that shit, but I ate it every now and again when I did eat it. But you know, tofu, certain soybeans, not all the time. You know what I mean? That stuff gives you estrogen and it'll turn you a certain way. Get your kundalini going the opposite way. You don't want to do that shit. You want to eat high testosterone foods, period. You know what I mean? High testosterone, silica-based foods. You know? So yeah, soy is cool, but you just gotta watch eating it a lot. You don't want to eat it a lot. You know what I mean? Get you about out of a month. If you have to eat it, get you about a few days of eating it, and that's it. Get that shit out your body, man, because it does have estrogen producing properties in it. Anything that has estrogen produces, like, it fucks up. A woman who produces too much estrogen, she develops fibroids and shit. Her uterus gets fucked up if she's eating too much estrogen. She have fibroids. You know, we see a woman in fibroid problems, man. She's bending over. She fucked up. You're like, hey, bitch, what you been eating? I don't know. You've been eating fibroids producing problem foods. What's that? I don't know. Dairies and everything, motherfucker. Motherfuckers probably busting nuts in you and shit. And all day, you know what I'm saying? Everything. You eat, you drink in a certain way. You know, there's a lot of things. Eating soy, you know, these old new girls, that's you know, a lot of these women now that they're vegetarians, they eat a lot of soy-based foods, and they don't know why their uterus is hurting and shit. It's like, dude, you're eating estrogen-producing foods. You're gonna have womb problems. You're not supposed to eat that shit like that. I can understand for the taste in 1 or 2 days, but if you're not used to eating that shit, don't get into it. I'm just letting y'all know that's a warning and shit. You know what I mean? I don't eat it like that. I was mad that my baby mom tried to give it to my babies. They got off of it too, though. So I said, yo, if you eat something, eat this salmon right here. This is how you cook it. You know what I'm saying? Because he like protein. You know what I'm saying? I knew my boy liked the protein, so I knew he was going to eat some salmon. Or I was getting him lentils and stuff when he was younger, so I knew he liked his protein. He's a Leo, so Leo's like, you know, protein shit, you know? Virgo like, you know, vegetable stuff, you know, potatoes. It goes by the sign. These motherfuckers are trying to use it by the blood cycle shit. No, it goes by your sign, man. Shit. Your sign, your spirit, what your spirit needs, man. Everything has a spiritual property in the food. You know, if you're more of an air sign, you like, you know, you're gonna like lighter, you know, like lighter foods. Water sign, you like water-based foods, shit, like water-based vegetables. You know, if you're an earth sign, if you're a fire sign, you're gonna like fiery fruits and peppers and shit. You know, shit like that. That's just in us. You know, if you're earth sign, same difference. You're gonna like earthy foods, to potatoes, and even tomatoes is watery, but it's a earthly fruit though. You know, so you can fry that mug up and then it tastes like a piece of fish. I know how to do it. I used to do that shit all the time. Hook it up with, and I eat that. That's like my fish. Green tomato, this thick, man. I'm making them all kind of ways. Like I'm making thin, thick. I'm gonna have to show us because we're gonna have the whole little cookout. You know what I mean? So we gotta do it like that. But cook them thick like that, man. With ripened potatoes on there. I mean tomatoes, and you know, I use the fluffy lettuce, Boston lettuce, or kale. Just get the kale in. You know what I'm saying? Then the onions, and all that, and the garlics, and boom, boom, boom. I got my lemon pepper on there. And I got a sub fish, like a fried green tomato fish sandwich, basically. You know what I'm saying? Super bomb. Make my own little tartar sauce. I get the mayonnaise without the soybeans. Mayonnaise. Put the little dill up in there with a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of water. Mix that bitch up. Get some relish, some natural relish. Boom. You can make your own little tartar sauce. Quick stuff. We've been doing that since I was in my early 20s, late teens. So I guess now we got to show the world that we've been doing it. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh yeah, man, this brother's been doing this stuff. We've been living it. I've been feeding it to my children, home birthing to show that it works. That's a part of health too. You know what I'm saying? We're taking health all the way back in our own hands. You know what I'm saying? Little by little, but we're gonna have it back. So we're getting rid of all these content creators that's thinking that they mightier than all eyes survey and shit, misleading people, want to gaslight and project. That shit don't affect me. I'm just saying, I know it affects certain people, who eats vegan and stuff like that. People that talk bad about vegan people, or certain vegans, but they want to say vegan is in the box and all of that. And we know vegan just basically mean no cheese or dairy. Let's not play with the words. You know what I mean? Just work out. That's it. Well, that's what we say to a vegan, for one of those vegans who are like that. Just tell them, hey, just work out, man. You know what I mean? Don't worry about if a mug is eating some honey or some shit like that, or just work out too. Get yourself back up, because these new vegan fruitarians they're like, okay, this is what I want to add in. I want to add my workout, and I want to get more physical. I want to be more, stretching. I don't want to just be like I'm a vegan and I eat fries. You know what I'm saying? And I consider myself a vegan. You know what I mean? They want to actually start living that shit. Like, yo, man, I want to stretch. I want to feel good. I want to breathe right. I want to run. I want to, skip. You want to have all that fun shit. You want to be vibrant, man. That's what working out, eating right makes you feel. That's how I'm feeling. That's what people want to tell you. You have to put a mask on, like I'm walking around like. No, I don't be like that for real. Because I have to, when I'm happy, I attract this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. But there's people who ain't happy, man. And that's why I say it's important. It's a lot to be thankful for. And, it's a lot of shit that's in the world that's kind of fucked up too. But just find what you could be happy for. Because I have a lot of shit I done went through. I'm not going to try to take all my money away from me. They're take all of my money from me. And yet, we still ride. Most High giving us downloads and shit and inspiration to help us, to help our whole nation, man. To help all of us. And our family look out, the donations that look out for me, man. And the people who add on, who send something to my little Cash App and stuff, from time and time again, I be appreciative and shit. I'm like, man, I ain't really ask. I ain't on here just asking. I just put the Cash App up there. But now I see it'll be a Cash App. I'm like, thanks, bro. And I ain't really officially, when I settle in, I'm gonna have to officially lock in on everybody and shit. You know what I mean? But it's just the fact that mothers look out. And now, if they ones who actually buy a little meal plan or something, look out. I'm like, hey, that's cool. Because I didn't even really sat all the way and went 100,000 on the month. Because I'm gonna be separating some things because I know what we're capable of. Is the natural flavor ingredients on boxes come from beavers, nuts, and butts. That's what they say, natural flavor. They put it in everything. Natural flavor is in everything. We're sucking beaver balls, man. Who the hell told us to get some beaver balls? They said, you suck this beaver ball from the back. Boy, that'll have your ass like. Nah. Who the fuck told them that shit to do that? Swift, I hear you, baby. Y'all see Swift? Yeah. So, yeah, man. So, we got to find alternatives, and it's about to happen. We're about to find alternatives. That's hard to avoid that one, but that's in the game, But I used to always be in the store with them ingredients looking down, monosodium, glutamate, polysoy 60, 80, shit. Damn, they done slide this in, you see casein, they done slid casein in and shit, that's milk. I was vegan, so I'm like, damn, we gotta watch out. They slide casein in and stuff, So you gotta just be real careful. When you start getting used to it, you'll start only valuing your own home cooked meals. I cooked all the meals at home. My babies and all of us and shit. Like, Shit, whether it's lasagna, it's vegetarian, vegan lasagna, spaghetti, whatever, big ass Incredible Hulk salads. Uh, Even if we did the veggie burgers, we make our own little buckets of veggie burgers and shit. Make our own little veggie stuff and stir them bitches up. And now I got it stored up. Now I can take it out and make my own little patties. You can make 100 patties now. You know, we did all these little things, man. As a fan, I had to grow up, you know. I was alternative, you know. I knew that's what's going to happen. This is what the shit was going to be now, like this. This felt it. So this is the new norm. Yeah, damn it, what the hell's going on? Oh my God, that's your ass. Crabs, man. I mean, like, that sounds funny as shit. Crabs. You know, these little crabs, they be cool with me. They be like, you know, I call them sidesteppers. And they be running around. Like, all the little niggas, they know me up here. But yeah, that's about it though. So let's watch out for the content creators, you know what I mean? They know certain ones I definitely fucks with. I say peace to them and everything. You know, they want to flex with the money situation. It's like, I understand, you know, you did the money thing, and I can understand. If I would have did the whole money thing, you know, I'm a king of pentacles and stuff too, I would have been lost. I wouldn't have known what I know now. So now I can do the money. But now you have to do the other thing too. Now see how it's back. Now you gotta learn what the fuck I done learn. I had to go through the school a little earlier. You know what I'm saying? So I would have did the money thing earlier, I would have been fucked up. You know what I mean? Once I made sure that I didn't have to do that shit. But he also put me in the right experiences so I can learn my own thing. So for me to be able to add on to the individual, he just did some shit. You know what I mean? So I won't have to worry about that later. Versus a person now trying to cultivate that happiness now, and they done been busting nuts for 20 years and shit. And repenting is a real hard thing to do. Versus if you in your 20s and you ain't been busting nuts for forever and shit. Oh yeah, because you know you ain't been exposed to as much as a 45-year-old or a 50-year-old person has been exposed to. You know what I mean? Like, you actually can save yourself at this point. You can actually let me stop. Them niggas, they gotta start over. It's like them niggas is fucked up. They got a mindset. You can't reteach an old dog new trick. These motherfuckers is trying to do new shit and trying their hardest to do it, and they haven't learned how to cultivate that happiness to continuously rebirth themselves, to continuously resurrect themselves. That's an ongoing, eternal life thing that you do. So these people don't get to that point. They just know, make the money like this, go into the world, do this, get this many. Like, I don't know why you're not doing it. It's because I'm not hungry enough to give my energy away to these motherfuckers as easily as your ass is. My thing is, the ones listening to me is they're probably already on. They just need a couple tweaks. And then they send a couple little bit of bread, a little something. If they want a course, then they get the course. It's a personal course, they want that. If they want a group workout, we'll do a group workout. That's coming up the line. And so we have separate things. But at the same time, it's like, you know, people are already on with their mindset. It's not that I have to hold somebody by their hand and try to coax them to be my client for forever, so I can drain all the money out of them instead of showing them like, yo, man, it's how you put the hook on the line, you get your little bait on there, and you throw that bitch out there like that, and you wait, and then you slowly pull back, and then you feel something nugging at it. That's how you fish now, all right? You want me to sit there and just keep pulling the fish out the water? Nah, I don't think nobody would like that unless they just a codependent type of person. You don't want to be around no codependent. You want to be interdependent. Everybody interdependent so we can form a super team type shit. Codependent, then there's going to be a weak link in the chain somewhere. You don't want to have a weak link in your own chain. So yeah, we want to make our own self strong. So, you know, like I said, we can make fun of the carnivores all day, man. I mean, shit. But it's like, I know what level you on. I know you honestly want to know. So I'm not gonna I don't need to make fun of nobody like that. You know what I'm saying? I can it just ain't no need to. It just ain't no need to. So with that being said, just be in your P's and Q's and just watch out for individuals who try to, gaslight and project their insecurities on them. Try to make it seem like they're big eye, little U syndromes. You'll see them get checked in public, especially when they try to go down something that you made up do. You might see a hater in your life and try to do something that you do. They're not going to succeed in it, especially if it's something that they seen you do and they wouldn't even do it unless it was something in them and that you sparked them to do that and bring that out of them. Other than that, they're just syringe stylists and copycat it won't last because it's not supernaturally created. It was gifted to you to do it, and it's only going to be carried out through you. So yeah, that being said, I love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the little dono. I ain't got the super chat, so we going past the super chat. I got the little dono notification and shit. So appreciate it. I got to see who the name is, but other than that, yeah, so we're bypassing the YouTube shits. You know what I'm saying? You show your love, you just show your love, and that's just how it is. They don't determine the love on that. All right. So I love y'all, and stay tuned. I'll be with you next week. Peace.